On November 29th, within the gothic atmosphere of Newark, NJ's QXT's Club, the Iron Garden welcomed Michael O'Connor of Cryptids and Paranormal Productions as their keynote speaker. This video is a recording of his compelling talk, which explored the enigmatic blue hole, a rumored dimensional portal hidden deep within New Jersey's Pine Barrens.
Friends, and I want to concentrate on this blue hole today. I went there a couple days ago to check it out for myself, and the blue hole, it's been around for thousands of years, but it didn't come out until the 30s. About all the legends. Legends were told over years and years, and this is the only time I'm going to look at a cheat sheet. I want to make sure I spell this guy's name right. There's a journalist by the name of Henry Charlton Beck, and he took all those stories, he published them in newspapers, books, and he was a ghost investigator and historian. And he would go all around New Jersey and he would tell all the stories and all the things happening in New Jersey and everything. But one of the stories that he really told about was the blue hole. And the blue hole is just a hole. It's in the Pine Barrens in Winslow, New Jersey, and it's supposedly bottomless, and it supposedly is the gateway to hell. And the Jersey Devil supposedly likes to bask there and swim there. That's the legend. And the legend also says that anybody who tried swimming in the blue hole was either pulled or drowned. And there were stories of people swimming across, getting pulled under, and when they came up, they found out their necks were broke. And these are all legends. These are stories. There's been stories of birds flying and disappearing in the middle of the area where the blue hole is. Now, when I went there myself, I saw a lot of weird things occur. When I first got out, my car got stuck. My friend Eric Spinner from the BFRO had to tow me out of there. And he took me in his truck and we went to the blue hole. And before we got to the blue hole, we pulled over and we saw all these weird prints. We saw hoof marks, we saw canine prints, we saw all these different footprints, and I was taking pictures of them. Now I put a few of them up there on display, and my bass player used Google Lens and was messing around and was Google Lensing the canine prints. And they were coming up as cryptids. So if you do have Google Lens, check it out. See if you guys get the same thing or not. But those prints possibly could be a cryptid. Could be the dog man, could be the Jersey Devil with the hoofs. But if I wanted to be a scientist, I could say the hoof prints actually look like a donkey prints. And I could say a coyote for the other ones. But that's all I thought they were. I didn't think it was anything really, really special. I just shared them. And when she Google Lensed it, I couldn't believe that it came up as a cryptid. That blew my mind. So after that, we took those pictures, we went to the blue hole. There wasn't one sign of wildlife. No birds, no insects. Can you believe it? I always get tons of ticks on me when I walk around in the middle of the woods. I didn't get one single tick on me, not one. No mosquitoes, no flies, nothing. I didn't even hear a frog, I didn't hear an insect. It was just so quiet. And the one thing that was really eerie is we thought we heard a deer or a bird in distress. And it made like a cry out type sound. And And I videotaped it for a while, and 19 seconds into the video, it sounded like I heard a loud knock on the tree. So I thought that was very interesting. But getting back to the legend, portals, what interests me is I was a big fan of the Twilight Zone. Does anybody remember the episode, The Bewitching Pool? Well, in that episode, the kids were... Yeah. That's because I'm so used to doing it like this, running around the stage. And so, I remember watching that as a kid, and I remember seeing like, oh, the parents were mean to these kids, and they swam into the regular swimming pool. And then when they came up, they ended up in a lake. And it was an old lady, and she took care of them, and they ended up staying there. So it's kind of like a portal, you know, a fiction. But they swam under the lake, and there was a portal. So I wonder if the blue hole is something similar. If somebody goes down and comes up a certain way, will they end up in another place? That's just a theory. But the legends of disappearances, hands coming out of the pool, people drowning, people feeling like they actually get pulled over. So pulled under. Anybody who got pulled under and lived said they felt somebody pulling them. Now, of course, then, you know, a scientist is going to say, that's a whirlpool. The whirlpool did it. Oh, there must be whirlpools in there. That's what the scientist says. But the legend is that people are actually getting pulled in. Now, when I was also there, there's a lot of rituals that go on in there. And I took pictures of the fire pit where they have the rituals. And people have seances. And there's all kinds of different beliefs in witchcraft. I practice green magic and candle magic. And I have this special gift where spirits latch on to me. And if anybody knows anything about the paranormal, maybe you can explain why this is happening to me. Somebody that I only met once, the ghosts are giving me messages to give to them. And I don't understand it. They're giving me all these messages to tell them, and then when I tell them, they're like, what? Oh my God, I can't believe that. And they're like blown away that everything that I was told that was meant for them was happening. I don't know why me, I don't know why I was chosen, but that's what was going on with this. But I have a gift, and I could feel things, they latch on, and when I was there, I felt the blue hole has this special energy that I can't explain. It was powerful energy, and it was creepy. And the word creepy is when you don't hear any animals or any sounds, and you're like constantly looking over your shoulder, like, am I being watched? But the one thing I can tell you is that if you want to go to the blue hole and see this with me, you just give me your email, and next time I go, I'll send you an email. We can all meet up and go. And I don't charge for that stuff, so it's, you know, you're welcome to come with me. So.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Very strong.
It's a habit. Yeah, it's a habit.
It's not a podium.
It's a singing. Okay, I'll go over here. I'll stay out of trouble. So I was there, and my friend was scared. He goes, oh, it's getting dark, we gotta go. I said, why not? I'm the kind of person that I'm out in the field all the time. I'm there at 1 o'clock, 2, 3 in the morning. I've been in places where nobody would ever go. I've been everywhere. So I wanted to stay at the Blue Hole at night. That's on my bucket list. I want to be there, and I want to see it for myself. Why is everybody so scared? And if I find anything, I'll share it. I'm not afraid to share it with anybody. Now, when I saw a bird fly, and this isn't by the Blue Hole, this was in the Pine Barrens. When I saw a bird fly and disappear in front of my eyes, like, where did this bird go? And I went over there and I'm like, no, there was nothing. But this bird just totally just vanished. Like, it just totally disappeared. It flew and then it was gone. Now, does anybody know what a pingo is? I didn't either until I looked into this Blue Hole. It's actually a pool of water that was caused by the Ice Age. What it is you got permafrost. It's like a hard frozen sediment and soil. It's just totally frozen. And what happens is you got an ice mass underneath it during the Ice Age. And then it just keeps expanding and expanding. And finally, when that melts, it comes out. That's what forms a pingo. So some people say the Blue Hole's a pingo. Some say a meteorite came, crashed, caused the hole. And then the non-believers will say, oh, it was just a man-made hole that they made during this, when they had the sawmill running. So you got three different things there. Now, does anybody know, did anybody ever see the Jersey Devil?
There he is.
Well, I've never seen the Jersey Devil. I go out looking for Bigfoot all the time. I never seen Bigfoot. I heard him, but I never seen him. No. Yeah, you did?
Yes, sir.
And whereabouts did you see him?
Dover, New Jersey, over there by Shades of Death.
Okay.
Yeah, that was fun. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
Sarcasm.
Well, some believe that the Jersey Devil is a hammerhead bat. Did anybody ever see a hammerhead bat?
Yes.
They're very big, and they look like
Have a horse face.
yeah, horse face, and they're very, very unusual looking. Here's what I think. I think that it's possible that these bats came over on a boat, and it doesn't matter. They could die in a month or 2 months. All it takes is somebody to see it once, and they say, "It's the Jersey Devil. He's coming to get me." So that could have happened, you know. And you have to think. Imagination can take control sometimes. You know, like when I was a little kid, I was at my sister's house, and I just saw the movie The Exorcist, and I was like, you know, a little small kid. I was downstairs, and I saw these two red eyes glowing in the dark, and I said, "Oh my God, it's Satan!" And I came running upstairs. I got her kids all upset. It was a mess. Well, she came downstairs with me, and guess what it was? 2 light switches glowing in the dark. So that's just an example of how imagination can take over. So when I'm out at the Blue Hole, just because I hear a noise doesn't mean it's the Jersey Devil or it's a Bigfoot. You're in an area where you have to logically think what it could be. Now, I've had friends that came and got me and said, "Michael, there's a noise. You gotta listen. You gotta come over." It's like 1 o'clock in the morning. "Mike, gotta come over to my house. I'm telling you, it's gotta be the Jersey Devil. He's making noise." Okay, so I go over there and I said, "Where are you hearing the noise?" "It's up the tree." I said, "Okay, here." I'm like, "Okay, I know what it is, because it's a gray fox." "What do you mean it's a gray fox? They're not in trees." I said, "Yes, gray foxes actually make nests in trees. They're different than the red fox. The gray foxes actually go into trees." So that people mistakenly think that that's the Jersey Devil, and all it is a gray fox. So you have to think that way sometimes. You just can't think everything's the Jersey Devil and everything's a Bigfoot. You just, you know. But getting back to getting back to the Blue Hole, my friend Eric Spinner from the BFRO, he took water samples. And he's going to have the water tested to see if there's any sign of a cryptid or anything in there. And the cool thing about the Blue Hole is it remains 50 degrees at all times. It doesn't matter if it's 100 degrees outside or it's 30 degrees below zero. For some reason, that temperature will stay at 50 degrees. It will never go over 50. It might go a little colder, but it'll never go over 50. And the Blue Hole is known for swimming back in the 30s. And what happened was there was a storm, washed the bridge away, and they closed that whole area off. But there must have been hundreds and hundreds of drownings in that small little pool. I mean, it goes back, like, I've been looking and doing research, and it just doesn't give me the amount of people that drowned. They're just stories about drownings.
Michael,
Yes.
has anybody tried to measure the energy there to see if there was some kind of energy disturbance, magnetic?
No, not that I'm aware of. I know they wanted to see how deep it was, and there were a few universities that went there, and one university claims that it's 100 feet deep, and I think that might have been Rutgers. And another university said they just kept putting 45, 50, 60 yards. They kept going down and there was no bottom. So I don't know what to believe with that. Some say it's bottomless, some say it's 100 feet deep. So I guess you would have to believe what you feel is the right one.
I used to go camping by the Molucca River. Is that near the area Basto?
Did anybody know that there's 2 Monroe townships in New Jersey? That confused me. That's why I'm using Winslow. Winslow is easier because it said, when you Google it and you put it in your GPS, it comes up as Monroe Township. And when it comes up as Monroe Township, I'm like, wait a minute. I live by Monroe. It's by Jamesburg, Sayreville. I says, why is it Monroe? I thought it was going the wrong way. Because that happened to me trying to find Sterling, New Jersey one time. There's 2 Sterlings. So that was, so that's where it is. It's Monroe Township, and it's, I got all the coordinates. Anybody interesting, if they want to go on their own, they want to come with me, they're scared. I'm not scared. I've done this so many times. I've had a bear chase me once. Let me ask you something. What do you think I did when a bear was chasing me? I ran into Johnny in the spot. And I hid there and I had the door shut. And I said, well, if I shit my pants, I'm in the right spot. But the bear, for some reason, when I went in there, I didn't run, I just went in there, shut the door, hung out there for about 15, 20 minutes, opened the door, and the bear was gone. So I just left. But I was not going to try to outrun a bear, no way. And he was big. He was a big bear, too. I've been chased by a turkey. And that thing was nasty. He came after me. I'm telling you, this turkey, he came after me. And I got on my car and I said, okay, he's gonna come in the car. He's pecking up my door. So, I've been chased. So it doesn't, I'm even thinking about going to British Columbia in the next 2 years and investigate that whole area. I heard that's a hot spot for Sasquatches, so I'm going to check that out for myself. Does anybody have any questions? Anybody have any questions?
Now, the one thing I've noticed when I've looked up some of the videos on it and such like that, we call it the blue hole, but I don't particularly see anything really blue about it, number one. Because there are many different actual, those green, blue, aqua marine pools down in South Jersey that you see when they do the sand dredging and they're pulling up the sugar sand, so they're all over down there, they're popping up. But this hole doesn't particularly come across as being one of those type of holes that go into like a natural aquifer or something. That's where some of them, where they went very deep, were like that. So again, why did they call it the blue hole when it doesn't blue about it?
I said the same thing when I went there. It actually, it's the clearest hole I ever seen. You can actually look down and you can see pretty far down. I can't, there's no way I'm gonna take a chance and go in the middle. Might not make it back. But there is a lot of quicksand around the area. You could actually go in,
No, the sugar sand
yeah,
area or something.
they could start sinking. Especially if you have a lot of rain too, I don't have that explanation why they call it the blue hole. They never explained it. But I know it's very clean water, and it could be that the dirtiness of the other waters, it's just, but the rains, we had all those rains, came in and that could discolor it. So I'm thinking.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.